Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thanks for joining us today as we reveal Path of Exile's next expansion, Lake of Kalandra, which launches on PC and Mac on August 19th, and on Xbox and PlayStation on August 24th. Twitch drops are enabled for today's livestream, so make sure you follow the instructions below to link your account and earn your Wrangler Wings.
Wrangler Wings!
Here's what you can expect from today's livestream.
Okay.
First, we'll debut the trailer for the Lake of Kalandra expansion,
Yeah.
and then dive into its challenge league. We'll discuss the further improvements we're making to Path of Exile's endgame in this release. There's a slew of new unique items for us to cover, and also a broad power boost to many different uniques. We've got a selection of new skill and support gems to reveal, and are excited to unveil our plans for revamping 3 past leagues.
What?
Then we'll cover more details about game balance before
no!
revealing this league's new supporter packs and what's going to happen in the lead up to launch next week. Our livestream ends with a Q&A session hosted by Ziggy D, where you can ask me your questions in Twitch chat. Then we'll post the full patch notes for you to check out. But before we show you the trailer for Lake of Kalandra, I wanted to talk to you about Exilecon. Back in 2019, we were ready to announce Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile Mobile, and we wanted to do it with a bang. We filled a venue with thousands of Path of Exile fans from around the world and ran our first Exilecon convention. It was an amazing experience, full of fans interacting with developers, and everyone who attended can vouch for the amazing energy at the event. Announcing Path of Exile 2 on that stage was one of the highlights of my life.
Here we go.
Since then, we've been hard at work on Path of Exile 2. Now that we are getting close to release, we will finally be ready to announce the date that the closed beta starts at Exilecon 2023. We're holding Exilecon 2023 in Auckland, New Zealand, on the weekend of the 29th and 30th of July 2023. In addition to the beta start date, we'll also be announcing everything there is to know about new game systems, character classes, items, and so on. Attendees will be able to play Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile Mobile, see all the presentations live, meet our development team, hang out with their favorite streamers, and much more.
Holy
The first
shit.
wave of tickets will go on sale in 2 weeks.
2
we'll
weeks.
make a news post tomorrow with more information so that you have time to determine if you're able to attend before the tickets go on sale. We are so excited to finally talk about what we've been working on, and to let some of you experience the next generation
chat was
of
right
action
again.
RPGs.
They're
In the
always
meantime,
right.
We have a strong lineup of Path of Exile 1 expansions underway, and today we're proud to unveil Path of Exile Lake of Kalandra, which
They're
launches
always
next
right.
week.
Here we go. A lake!
Exile, you have wandered far to arrive at the shores
Harpy?
of my lake.
Oh, your lake.
A hidden realm I have
No.
overseen for longer than time itself.
Holy shit! Whoa!
Has harbored deadly secrets.
It's an area. It's an area. Where's the boat?
Rayclast is
What is
reflected
that?
here.
Reflection of breach. Defeat pack of
Reassemble it
crabs.
as you see fit.
Water tile.
But the
Mirrored.
mirror
What?
distorts reality. Beware the image that strikes back.
It's a mirror of the world. Oh my god. What is that? Atlas Memories. 4 new gems. That looks cool. Little trap shooting out. New uniques. There's some jewels in there. Glove, a helmet. Trickster Ascendancy rework. 100 uniques. I saw the plate vest. Harvest rework. Beyond. What was the other one?
Lake calls
I missed
you,
it.
Exile.
Was it Blight?
Will you endure,
I missed
or will
it.
you drown?
Holy shit. That's so fast. Wow. I missed it. Was it Blight? Oh no. My chat's under the full screen.
In the Kalandra Challenge League, you will travel to the mirrored lake that granted Kalandra her powers of reflection.
That's so cool.
We want you to experience the story for yourself, so I'll avoid spoiling the details here. When you get to explore the league next week, you'll find out more about Kalandra and her motivations.
Oh.
Your experience with Kalandra so far is probably of her coveted mirror, which duplicates items by reflecting them. The lake itself has the power to reflect entire encounters from elsewhere in Rayclust. As you explore the lake, these reflections emerge from its mirrored surface. Sometimes these reflections are encounters with hordes of monsters. And sometimes you'll encounter extremely powerful foes reflected from elsewhere in Rayclust.
Atlas Invasion.
Often, reflections involve
Harpy.
league content,
King
such
Harpy.
as this encounter with a Harbinger boss.
Fat loot.
As you play through the league, you'll occasionally encounter a set of columns protruding
Mirrored
from the ground,
tablet.
with a mirrored tablet on top. This tablet invites you to construct a
Delirium.
custom set of encounters at the
Okay.
Lake of Kalandra, offering a series of different reflections to place in whatever
Wow.
layout you wish.
What?
Each of these reflections represents an encounter that you must defeat when you next travel to the lake. Once you have assigned a reflection to every location on your mirror tablet, which will take a few areas, you can open a portal to the Lake of Kalandra itself.
Yo.
There you will get to experience these reflections of Rayclust as Kalandra manifests each encounter you have chosen.
What the fuck?
But as you push farther out onto the lake
The thing
shrouded
is
waters,
huge.
you will find each encounter to be more difficult, but more rewarding. This difficulty
Chevrons,
value counts
toys,
up by 1 for each
essences,
location away from the
RB.
entrance the encounter is.
What the fuck?
Players wanting the best rewards will try to engineer tablets that have long, windy strings of encounters, reaching very high difficulty values by the end.
Holy shit! It's
To
a
do this, there are
synthesis.
occasional options that can be chosen which allow you to move and swap the entrance, reflections, and water tiles on the tablet.
Holy shit!
Additionally, as you progress through the league, you'll be able to unlock special abilities that let
Powerful
you manipulate
foe,
the options you have
forged
available
in
on each
blood.
tablet. If you don't like any of the choices available to you, you can earn the ability to skip picking one entirely.
Wow.
The next ability is even stronger. It lets you re-roll the list of options so that you can immediately pick another one. Finally, you can earn the ability to exile a choice entirely. For the rest of this tablet, that choice will no longer appear.
Ever? What?
Once you reach maps, you'll be able to itemize your mirrored tablets so that they don't have to be played immediately.
Oh,
They can be stored for later
yeah.
or traded with other
Oh, look
players.
at that!
As
This
you
is
visit
a good
the
league.
Lake of Kalandra to attempt your mirrored tablets, there are many types of rewards you can find.
Oh my god.
An encounter that is based on a past league implicitly grants the rewards from that league, but with extra juice so that you're not missing out on bonuses you'd have obtained if your Atlas tree applied to the lake.
This is amazing.
Other encounters that aren't based on past leagues generally yield a reward chest that rises out of the lake when you complete the encounter.
Look at that.
Certain reflections grant you access to a new variation on rare items, exclusive to the Kalandra Challenge League. When you
Rare
complete the
items.
encounter, you'll get access to some reflecting mist,
Oh,
which
shit.
presents you with a difficult choice. It generates a rare ring or amulet
What
with an
the-
unusual set of mods. Some are very high, and some are very negative, which hurt your character.
What the fuck?
The item is then
Minus
duplicated,
70
with a reflected
lightning.
copy having inverse mods.
What?
Negative ones are now positive, and vice versa. The amount that all of these mods are scaled up by is based on the difficulty of the encounter you just completed. You may only pick one of these items to keep.
What?
It'll often be a tough choice, with each item having its own strong pros and cons. But sometimes, you'll be offered an item where the negative mods aren't downsides for your build, and the juiced up positive mods are very attractive.
105 strength,
also some special new jewelry
136
base types that you can
life,
rarely receive from this
77
process.
cold res. You're dead.
One rare and difficult encounter rewards you with an advanced version of this crafting process. It allows you to bring your own ring or amulet,
Whoa.
distorting and reflecting it with the same process described before.
Oh shit.
The mods are scaled up in value and some are randomly
Plus
negated.
2!
The reflected copy has the inverse set of negations. It will certainly be tempting to gamble with some of your best jewelry to try and double
Minus
the
2.
values that really matter for your build, and negate the ones you don't care about.
Minus 2. Reduce global Yo, you're
If you're
your
very
craft.
lucky, you may find a special
What?
league-exclusive unique ring at the lake. Kalandra's touch mirrors the effects
That is
of
so
your other ring.
cool.
The Kalandra Challenge League has something for everyone. It's an out-of-area combat league where you build your own sequences of encounters. It lets you fully dictate your desired level of risk and reward and fully customize what content you play. It features a powerful crafting system, valuable rewards, and offers a glimpse into the lore of one of Path of Exile's most iconic characters.
Holy shit.
We can't wait to play it with you next week.
Endgame
In every
improvements.
expansion leading up to Path of Exile 2's release, we'll be improving Path of Exile's endgame with new content to explore and new ways to customize your endgame experience. In the Lake of Kalandra expansion, we're introducing Atlas Memories. They aren't a league
Atlas
feature,
Memories.
they're part of the core game, affecting standard and persisting once the
Whoa.
Kalandra League has ended. In maps, you'll very rarely find a memory item, which represents a set of memories that an NPC has about their past. Something special happened to them while exploring maps, and you're able to experience those events for yourself. Let's have a look
Breach
at a couple of
bosses.
examples.
What
In
the
this
fuck?
Atlas memory, Kirik tells you about the time that he stumbled across a staging ground for a Harbinger invasion of Rayclust. Each successive map you play in the sequence has more and more Harbinger portals and invaders that you must deal with.
Oh my god.
This is a memory of Nico's, where he entered a sequence of maps that were entirely consumed by permanent breaches, like a Breachlord's domain. He survived to talk about it, but will you?
Oh my god.
Right-click a memory and apply it to a completed map on your Atlas. It'll mark out a series of adjacent maps that the Atlas memory will span. When you next talk to the relevant NPC
You have to
in
do
your
all
hideout,
of them.
they'll tell you about their recollections and will allow you to start exploring the memory. Each map in the sequence is provided for free by the NPC, and you'll be able
This
to roll
is
it
so
like usual
cool.
before running it.
Ooh. Oh, it gives you the map too.
Because these maps are memories of the NPC, they are not affected by your Atlas tree.
Oh,
However, the
okay.
content is generally as difficult and rewarding as a fully specialized Atlas tree would cause it to be.
What? Fully? So OP at the beginning.
Each successive map in the
OP.
sequence gets harder and more rewarding as the memories intensify. While memories are tradable, they're also very rare and valuable, so you'll probably want to complete them yourself if you can.
Get loot.
For players who love lore, Atlas memories help expand on the backstory
What
of key
the hell?
NPCs. For
Why
players
was that a
wanting to try out
unique
different league mechanics
essence?
at quite high levels of juice that they haven't specialized their
What is
Atlas
this
for,
pride aura?
memories let them do this without a bunch of respecking. And for everyone else, Atlas memories are a great way to earn some valuable items, if you're strong enough to complete them.
That essence was weakening his pride.
The Lake of Kalandra
What?
expansion also contains a new unique map that I'm quite excited about.
No
The
way.
Trialmaster is back. This boss from Ultimatum, and more importantly, the unique items he drops, have been sorely missed and will be making a return as the Tower of Ordeals unique map in Lake of Kalandra. This map can be created by
It's
completing
happening.
difficult endgame Vaal content.
It's happening.
We have not forgotten about
This
the
is
rest
the
of Ultimatum
league.
and have a specific plan for how it will return in the future. Whenever we're improving Path of Exile's endgame, we take every opportunity we can to add new variations of rewards that you can find.
The shield.
We don't want to say too much about how
glove.
these are acquired,
Whoa!
but in this expansion, it's possible to very rarely find special foil versions of any pinnacle boss unique item.
Oh, it's so cool.
These have the same stats as regular ones, but are certain to be highly prized by collectors or
Just
wealthy
looks
players
so
wanting
cool.
to show off.
Yep. That's just
The Lake
cool.
of Kalandra
New
expansion
uniques.
contains 14 new unique
14!
items. In addition to the Kalandra's Touch Ring that is exclusive to the Kalandra Challenge League, we have introduced
13.
a new endgame pinnacle boss reward, a supporter unique, the Tower of Ordeals unique map, 6 new Grand Spectrum jewels, and even some leveling uniques. The first we're showing you today is Soul Ascension, a pair of gloves designed by Zizaran. They drop from the Uber Elder. Soul Eater is a very powerful buff, but it is usually hard to obtain in boss fights. This unique grants you the ability to gain stacks of Soul Eater when you hit a unique enemy, but also makes you lose those stacks if you aren't near one.
Wow. That's really cool.
Ghost Wraith is a leveling unique which allows you to play as an almost pure energy shield character during early parts of the campaign. We'll reveal the other new unique items in this expansion over the next week.
50 chaos
Path of
res.
Exile has a lot of unique items
That's
in its core drop
insane.
pool. Over 700 in fact. We feel that there are 2 big problems with unique items at the moment. The first is that you find too many, and the second is that they are generally pretty useless when you do. Sure, there are some powerful endgame or build-enabling uniques that feel amazing to find, but the majority of unique items found throughout the game are rarely actually useful to you. In the Lake of Kalandra expansion, we have made a lot of changes here. We have reduced the overall drop rate of uniques throughout the game and have rebalanced and overhauled over 100
Heartbreaker?
existing unique items, with an emphasis on uniques in the core drop pool, including leveling uniques and
The
some
Red
endgame
Covenant?
uniques. You're going to find
Alberons?
unique items less frequently now, but when you do, they're going to be a lot more punchy.
Skullhead? I don't see Baron.
Nectar's Lantern has been completely changed from the ground up. Previously, it was trying to allow you to play a hybrid attacker and spellcaster, but it didn't really work very well. With the new design, it's a lot more elegant and delivers on this goal by simply granting high damage and the battle mage effect, so that your weapon damage is added to your spells.
That's cool.
Thousand
What
Ribbons
the
is an example of an item where we merely needed to tweak values on the existing mods to make it a lot better.
Huge!
We want mod value rolls to matter more, and this item now showcases that well.
Huge!
If you find a high rolled one early on, you're probably not replacing it for a long time.
Yep. Damn.
Malachai's Simula was trying to deliver the Blood Mage fantasy by allowing you to spend life to cast your spells.
Double?
This was meant to be special because the Blood Magic Keystone was far away from the Witch starting location on the skill tree. Unfortunately, this item wasn't really powerful enough to justify its use. It has now been overhauled, and alongside Blood Magic, it grants a powerful multiplicative damage boost. With over 100 uniques rebalanced in this way, your play experience is now punctuated by quite large bursts of power when you find one. We'll continue to examine the power level and rarity of more unique items in subsequent expansions.
Isn't it the Hoth bow or something?
The Lake of
using
Kalandra
an upgraded
expansion
one.
includes 3 new skill gems and 1 new support gem.
Here we go.
Alchemist's Mark is a new mark skill. Igniting or poisoning the marked target creates burning or caustic ground underneath them, based on the damage of the strongest ignite or poison on the enemy. The damage of the ground effects also scales with Curse and Mark effect, providing a non-standard way to scale your build's damage. Hitting the marked target also refills some of your flask charges.
Oh, that's
This new
useless.
skill opens up an extra source of damage for Ignite or Poison-focused characters, especially for Ignite builds that want an alternative to Flame Surge, or Poison builds that cause fewer, higher damage poisons. This high-level build uses Flame Blast, with 100% of the damage converted to Chaos, to inflict huge poisons on enemies. When Alchemist's Mark is cast on an enemy first, that enemy drops Caustic Ground when it's poisoned, scaled by those big Flame Blast poison hits, melting everything into a puddle.
A puddle.
Galvanic Field is a new shock-themed spell. When used, you
cool.
gain a buff, granting a small bonus chance to shock. When you next shock an enemy, the buff is consumed and the enemy becomes energized, repeatedly zapping themselves and nearby targets.
What?
A lot like Ball Lightning.
Cool.
If the energized enemy dies, then the energy sits at their location and continues to zap things.
Wow, that's insane.
Galvanic Field's area of effect and zap damage scale with the strength of the shock on the target. While Galvanic Field is great for any build that shocks, you can even fully build around it, and use a skill with increased shock effectiveness like Arc to shock enemies and kill them with a ball of death.
Sounds really strong.
Lightning Conduit is another new shock-themed spell. A wave propagates out from the target location, causing lightning bolts to strike all shocked enemies in a large area. The damage is scaled by the strength of the shock on each enemy. Lightning Conduit cannot itself shock and won't hit non-shocked enemies at all, so the challenge with this skill is to find a way to consistently apply powerful shocks to your targets to make the most of Lightning Conduit's high damage
The other
potential
one
and
scales
area
with
of
shock.
This high-level build uses Wave of Conviction to shock enemies, before casting Lightning Conduit until they're obliterated. For longer fights, it can employ Galvanic Field to create a constant source of lightning damage.
That's cool.
Last but not least, Overcharge Support is a new support gem that causes supported skills to deal less damage, but makes them inflict much stronger shocks and grants them a higher chance to shock. Overcharge lets many different lightning skills create powerful shocks. Use this to take advantage of Shock's large damage multiplier, or to activate Lightning Conduit and Galvanic Field.
Cool. Lightning.
As Path of Exile expands, we often revisit previous leagues,
it's
reworking them so they
Archnemesis.
stay relevant and engaging. In Lake of Kalandra, we are targeting 3 such leagues:
Not Blight.
Archnemesis, Beyond, and Harvest.
Blight's
the larger
fine.
context here is that we've been re-examining what role rare and magic monsters have in Path of Exile. The introduction of Archnemesis modifiers as the monster mod pool prompted quite a lot of discussion about how often you should encounter rare and magic monsters, how difficult they should be to kill, and how rewarding their death should be. Previously, League content made fights hard by spawning a lot of rare monsters. A whole lot. in some cases 6 to 8 times the normal rate of rare monsters. Now that we have better mods available to make fights against rare monsters individually challenging, we have gone through the whole game and normalized the rate that rare monsters are spawned at.
Wow.
Some leagues had quite large reductions in spawn rate. You won't encounter
Like,
situations with dozens of rare monsters on screen at once anymore. Alongside this reduction
in
of how many
general,
rare monsters
ritual,
you'll face, we have improved their rewards and made sure that they
Harvey.
scale with both difficulty of the encounter and any item rarity or quantity bonuses that you have. During the campaign, you'll only encounter 1 and 2 mod rare monsters. The 2 mod encounters are a bit harder and have better drops.
3 was fucked.
In maps, you'll stop encountering 1 mod rare monsters entirely, and will mostly encounter 2 and 3 mod rare monsters. It'll also be possible to encounter 4 mod rare monsters again. Not only are the innate item drop
they're
bonuses scaled
rarer.
up significantly on monsters with many mods, but we have made these challenging encounters rewarding in another way too.
My
About a third of the more
Skellies!
powerful Archnemesis modifiers now use a special reward conversion system.
build.
For example, if you defeat a monster with a Corruptor mod, all of its drops become
What the?
corrupted.
No.
The Solaris Touched mod converts all
That
of
could
its
be
item
good.
drops to maps.
Whoa. That's cool.
The Katava Touch mod will cause the rarity of its drops to be upgraded by 1 tier. So magic becomes rare, rare becomes unique, and so on.
Holy shit!
If you're lucky, you can find these conversion modifiers on both the 3rd and 4th mod of a rare monster. This causes them to stack together. So if you kill a 4 mod rare monster with both the Entangler and Katava Touch mods on it, its heavily juiced drops will also be converted to jewels with their rarity upgraded by a tier. Due to the high amount of inherent item rarity that 4 mod rare monsters have, this may result in several unique jewels dropping.
Holy shit! Archnemesis everywhere for real now!
This conversion system is fully compatible with your item rarity and quantity bonuses, as well as the drop bonuses from all other Archnemesis mods.
And the new
Going
uniques!
forward, we want to make sure that a lot more item reward mechanics scale with your character item bonuses. Get your Magic Find characters ready. As a result of this system, when you do encounter a rare monster with many Archnemesis mods, you are well rewarded for the difficult fight.
Boom!
We have also been listening
that
to
a rogue
feedback about the
Exile?
Archnemesis mods that can spawn on magic monsters. Too many of them had external visual clarity issues like on-death effects. We have toned these down on magic monsters so that more of them are stat-based bonuses that aren't so spammy. Encounters that spawn a series of magic monsters now make sure to preserve the same Archnemesis modifiers between the monsters rather than rolling a different one for each monster. This will further help keep the game state understandable in hectic situations. Beyond was introduced in August 2014,
shit.
initially as a hardcore-only challenge league.
What?
It's 8 years old now and certainly has several issues.
Really? I didn't know that.
Firstly, the art. Have you ever really taken a close look at a Beyond demon? It is literally a bandit from Act 2, dunked in red paint.
I love Beyond.
The second issue is its balance. The number of magic and rare monsters spawned is so much higher than the rest
It's
of the
so
game.
good.
And whatever problems that resulted in before are magnified now that rare monsters are meant to be more difficult. Beyond also spawns way too many unique bosses, which causes its own set of issues. In Lake of Kalandra, we have given Beyond much more than a fresh coat of paint. The Scourge have taken over the realm of the Beyond demons. The old bandit Beyond demons are gone. Summoning monsters from Beyond will now summon Scourge monsters and bosses. We have completely rebalanced the rate that Beyond
Beyond's
monsters and
dead.
bosses spawn at, so that it's appropriate for modern Path of Exile.
Beyond's dead.
The new Beyond monsters can now occasionally drop the Scourge League's tainted currency items that allow you to modify corrupted items.
Scourge is dead.
We've also completely revamped how harvest crafting works.
Beyond.
Rather than being presented with a selection of crafting
Wow.
options that must be used immediately, you now receive itemized tradable life force of the appropriate color.
No.
This life force can be used later, in your own time,
Okay.
at the Hoarder crafting bench in your hideout.
Wait.
Its crafting options are now priced in terms of this itemized life force currency.
What?
Tier 4 bosses are now encountered much more frequently and can drop a key to fight a Shabi. She yields
Okay.
special life force which can be used for a specific set of crafts. We have rebalanced all harvest crafts for the new system and have removed a bunch of filler crafts and some ones with deterministic outcomes that were incredibly RNG gated before. Some crafts that provided
No
access to exclusive
way.
content, like the special offerings to the goddess, have been removed because these items can now be found in more appropriate locations elsewhere in the game.
That's so cool.
The result of these changes is that when you complete a harvest, you aren't presented with 30 crafts which must either be used immediately or unsafely traded to some player you found on a community Discord server. It also means that every bit of life force you receive is going towards a craft that you actually want to use on one of your items, when you're ready to use it. Your interaction with the Sacred Grove is now far simpler as well. Just
But it's
enter,
different.
pick your plots, defeat the monsters, and get on with your mapping.
Hopefully it's good.
Like with Archnemesis and beyond, we have also addressed the monster composition of Harvest's fights, so that it doesn't contain too many rare monster mods, and so that it is of appropriate difficulty for
Why
its
were they
rewards.
delayed? Did you see that?
In addition, the rewards for Harvest now scale with map quantity and pack size, incentivizing you to juice your maps. Previously, the crafts you received were not scaled up at all if you played a harder map. Last week, we posted this expansion's character balance manifesto, which detailed the many changes we're making in Lake of Kalandra. There are plenty more changes, which we will include in the full patch notes that will be posted after this livestream. But on this stream, I'd like to talk about a few specific areas: Minion itemization, Exalted and Divine Orbs,
Here we go.
and the Trickster Ascendancy class. Historically, Minion builds have not been particularly reliant on the stats of their items.
Minions.
Most of the power of their minions came from their skill and support gems. This led to a few problems. Firstly, it gave them a bit of a free ride compared to most other character builds. And secondly, it meant that it was hard for minion players to actually specialize their character to be really, really good. We want to solve both of these problems in this expansion. Path of Exile is a game about items, and that means that you will now be strongly rewarded for finding items that make your minions better. It also means that, like with other builds, if you find good items, you'll be far more damaging and survivable than before. We described a variety of minion changes in last week's character balance manifesto.
Here it comes.
Today I want to show you the new base item types we have added to help your minion itemization.
Here it comes.
We've added a new
13.
ring base type, the Bone Ring.
Holy shit,
This ring has
look at those
implicit
stats.
minion elemental resistances and can roll minion related modifiers.
13. That's cool.
We've added level 20 and 50 versions of the Convoking Wand, called the Calling Wand and
45
Covenant Wand
crit
respectively.
chance.
Like the Convoking Wand, these new base types can roll minion related modifiers.
That's low level mons.
Some new minion related mods have been added to the pool available to these wands, and some existing mods have been adjusted or made more common.
That could
We
go
have
to 20.
repurposed the bone-themed spirit shields so that they have minion
Plus
damage
1.
implicit mods rather than spell damage, and can also roll minion-related mods.
That's a lot of res and life. I wonder if it can go higher.
Alongside the stable of existing unique items, there's now quite a lot more base type support for minion characters, and good mods on those base types can stack up to some pretty large bonuses for your minions.
Show me one.
I also wanted to discuss two of the rarest currency
Plus
items
one's
in Path
cool.
of Exile: Divine Orbs and Exalted Orbs. These actually have the same drop rate, but Exalted Orbs are worth so much more in trade because there's no easy vendor recipe for them, and because they're consumed when you craft certain
Divine
meta mods onto
Orbs.
items. Out of these two currency items, we would actually prefer the Divine Orb effect to be rarer, so that unique items with good rolls matter more.
Divine
and so that
Orbs!
players can Exalt craft their items more frequently.
Divine Orbs, I'm rich!
We are making two changes that will impact this. Firstly, we are changing the cost of crafting meta mods so that they cost Divine Orbs rather than Exalted Orbs.
Divine Orbs!
Secondly, we are changing the
Divine
6-link
Orbs!
vendor recipe to grant 20 Orbs of Fusing
What?
rather than a Divine Orb.
No! My Divine Orbs!
This change will result in Exalted Orbs being far more available for crafting, and Divine Orbs less available for re-rolling mods on items. It'll certainly be interesting to see what the de facto
What about
trade currency
Harvest?
becomes next league.
Can you reroll with Harvest? But then you have to spend your...
Next, I'd like to talk about the Trickster
I don't know.
Ascendancy class.
We'll see.
We haven't been happy with the state of this Ascendancy class recently.
Minions?
While it used to be quite powerful, we moved its defining feature, Ghost Dance, onto the main passive skill tree.
Oh, yeah.
Since then, it has had a confused identity and hasn't met the power level of the other Ascendancy classes. In this expansion, we have reworked the Trickster, with a focus on establishing thematically appropriate defenses and ways to manipulate speed. One step ahead allows the Trickster to manipulate time in an interesting way.
Holy shit.
Enemies are slower than normal and cannot have their action speed raised above this value, such as through an acceleration shrine. Conversely, the Trickster is faster by default and cannot have action speed lowered below this value,
That's cool.
effectively making them immune to effects that lower action speeds
That's
such as
literally
freeze,
Kaom's
chill, or
roots.
temporal chains.
That's so cool.
Spellbreaker ties together spell suppression
Whoa.
and energy shield in a powerful way. Spellbreaker grants some spell suppression chance, which is an effect that reduces damage taken from spells.
What?
The skill
That
also
third
starts
line
with
is
energy
broken.
shield recharge half the time
That
you
is
suppress
so
spells.
broken. That's
Since
so
Trickster characters tend
broken.
to have a high evasion rating, you will be evading some hits and recharging on others.
That is so
meaning that your energy shield
broken.
recharge stays active most of the time.
It's so broken.
Spellbreaker also further improves defenses by reducing the damage you take from suppressed spells while on full energy shield.
So broken. Literally so broken.
For those that want a different way to recover energy shield, the powerful Soul Drinker notable passive is no longer exclusive to Forbidden Jewels from the Uber-searing Exile getting
Oh
to
my
Worlds.
god.
Any Trickster can now allocate this skill.
That's crazy.
Polymath provides more bonus damage, life, mana, and energy shield on kill for each different type of mastery you have allocated.
What the fuck is this?
It reinforces the idea of a Trickster
What
being
is
a jack of all
that?
trades, and will lead to interesting decisions when planning your passive tree.
That's
trying
cool,
to fit
but
in as
we
many
don't
different
use
types
that.
of masteries as possible.
That's cool though.
Overall, the new Trickster is intended to be the Shadow's answer to the Champion, but faster. He should be an exciting option for players who want to get a lot of evasion, energy shield, and recovery out of their Ascendancy
Those are
class
some cool
while still being
notes.
able to melt enemies.
ES recharge.
Alongside today's livestream,
Real.
we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Knight and Rogue packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value and points, plus several exclusive microtransactions. These packs are only available during the Kalandra League and will leave the store forever in 3 months. Every microtransaction you are about to see is entirely cosmetic and does not affect your character's progression or power.
Why not, Kappa? I'm kidding. Oh, that looks cool as fuck.
The Knight pack series contains 6 exclusive microtransactions, including the full Knightmaster armor set. The Aetheric Mana Flask releases a burst of mana upon activation,
Oh, here we go.
and draws in energy from the environment as your mana refills.
Ooh.
The Hoarder's Stash is a stash skin that can be used in your hideout. As you place items in the stash, they hover above it until you're finished, before being sucked into storage.
What the fuck? That's so cool.
This is the Knightmaster
Flex
armor
your
set.
shit.
While wearing its helmet, your actions are periodically duplicated by an ethereal copy of yourself.
Whoa. That's
the Blood
cool.
Scouring Cloak absorbs blood as you slay monsters. It tracks your kill streak and cleans itself off when the slaughter ends. The Ring of the Victor causes a podium to rise up underneath you when you are
What the
standing still,
fuck?
elevating you above other players.
What the fuck? Nah, that's unethical, dude. That's too good. That's too good.
The Warlord's Lieutenant Portal summons a warrior spirit who will greet you, cheer you on, and commend you on your actions.
Yo. They learned from the
The Rogue Pack
Trialmaster.
series has 6 exclusive microtransactions, including the Rogue Stalker armor set.
Ooh.
The Beast of
The
Burden
Doge.
visually carries your items for you, becoming more laden with bags and packs the more full your inventory gets.
What the fuck?
The Collector's
What the
Serpent
fuck?
Shield covets the treasure you find. Whenever you pick up an item, the serpent darts out to grab it.
What the?
This is the Rogue Stalker armor set. While wearing its gloves, critical strikes cause blades to appear and slice at your enemies.
Oh, what? That's so cool looking. But only when you crit.
The Corpse Bloom footprints
That's
cause
cool.
exotic plant growth in your wake. The plants
And it's not
especially
like
love
Harvest.
corpses and will seek them out and grow in larger patches around them.
Oh no. 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 Why would you?
On the other hand, the Undertaker's Amulet inters corpses for you, burying them and marking their location with gravestones.
Okay. Okay. Yo, I
The
can kind of
unstable
get behind
explosives back
that.
attachment is not for the faint of heart. As your life gets lower and lower, it gets closer and closer to exploding.
Yo.
And when you die, your party members will certainly feel it.
No way. No way!
As I mentioned before, these packs are exclusive to the Kalandra League, and will leave the store in 3 months. They're available right now at pathofexile.com/purchase, and they directly fund the ongoing development
What
of Path
the
of Exile
fuck?
2 and Path of Exile 1 expansions like Lake of
I kind of
Kalandra.
like the first one more. You have the dying,
In
exploding
addition,
one, and
the supporter
the
packs introduced
and
with
the
the
king.
Sentinel expansion are leaving the store forever in 1 week. Now's your last chance to purchase them, and we greatly appreciate your support. Speaking of things leaving the store, the Kerrick's Vault Pass for Sentinel is only available for the next few days also, and will leave the store forever when the league ends. There's no penalty for purchasing the pass late in the league after you've wrapped up your map completion, so if you're pleased with where you got to in maps and Sentinel and want to lock in your unique skins, it's not too late to buy your pass.
that shit's cool.
Next up, we've got the Q&A with Ziggy D. Once that ends, we'll post the full patch notes for Lake of Kalandra. Over the next week, our
Full
community
patch
team will
notes.
post teasers for new and revamped unique items, upcoming quality of life improvements, and an announcement for the League launch race event. On launch weekend, we'll be running another set of Twitch drops, and expect to release the new Mystery Box and Kerrick's Vault Pass in the days after launch.
Here we go.
Thanks for joining us and checking out today's reveals.
Let's watch
we can't
the
wait to
Q&A.
see you in Rayclast on August 19th. We'll begin the Q&A in a few moments, so please get your questions ready in
How
chat.
you guys doing? That was insane.